live from Austin, Texas, and DockerCon. I'm here with Dustin Kirkland of Canonical. Dustin, how are you?
Barton, doing well, thank you.
Good. So we're both in our hometown, always a good thing, rather than meeting in other areas. But so big changes at Canonical, and I know these have been changes for you as well. Maybe you can give a quick overview of what those are.
Yeah, I mean, we've really tightened up our focus a bit, to be really focused on our field and our customers and where and what they need out of Ubuntu in the near term and in the longer term as well. I came out of the server side of Ubuntu, and we've done quite a bit of work putting Ubuntu into every public cloud, private cloud, on the bare metal. Of course, you and I have worked on the Sputnik project and others, and Ubuntu on the desktop is still an important aspect of what we do at Canonical as well. The newest bit is, of course, Ubuntu in IoT devices, and that's another place where Dell, among a number of partners, we're putting Ubuntu Core, an embedded version of Ubuntu, onto connected devices, internet-connected devices.
So, and this means a change for you as well. You've taken on a new role.
I'm leading product management, so I've been working as a product manager for Ubuntu for about 4 years now, and that responsibility has expanded a little bit.
So obviously you said IoT. What else falls under there?
So Canonical, we make Ubuntu for everything from small embedded devices to the biggest mainframes and servers in the world, and all other hardware in between. But we also put Ubuntu into public clouds, Amazon, Azure, Google being the big three, but there's a lot of other clouds that are super important to us that focus on specific verticals, SoftLayer, Rackspace, Joyent, and a number of others as well. Ubuntu, across all of those experiences, we want to be really tightly refined and very consistent. So here we're at DockerCon. We do a lot of work with Docker Inc. and our mutual partners to ensure that Ubuntu is a great host for Docker containers, but also a great base image for Docker-based container images.
So the big news, I guess it's maybe 2 weeks ago or maybe just a week ago, is the coming back to Gnome. So and moving away from Unity and Mir. So maybe you can just chat a little bit about that.
We're super proud of what we accomplished with Mir. And I'm really proud of the innovation that's gone into that. Imagine a world in which we didn't have choice and we didn't have different ways of doing things. So we fought that fight, and we did it for a very long time. By the way, Gnome has always been available on Ubuntu through various formats, but Ubuntu Mate, of course. And so it's not much of a transition to move back to a Gnome-based Ubuntu. We'll look forward to working with that team and pushing forward the Ubuntu desktop with Gnome as its default display manager and default desktop.
Cool. And so it's interesting, you've sort of come full circle, because if I remember correctly, Mark sort of patterned the release pattern after Gnome back in the day.
That's right. It's the open source community is a big and welcoming place. I've been impressed with both feedback on the sides of people who are lamenting the loss of Unity. There are unbelievably a great number of people who really love Unity and what Unity offered and brought. So some of those are sad and lamenting the fact that it's going away. There's quite a few people that are excited that Ubuntu's coming back to Gnome. So it's a big open source world. There's a lot of choice. I imagine that there will be a Unity-based Ubuntu run by someone in some community somewhere, and we'd welcome that. There's always been KDE and Gnome and XFCE and Unity and other platforms. Of course, our server ships no display manager. So there's a lot of different ways of rolling Ubuntu.
And then just to end with, to the extent you can talk about it, what can we expect from Canonical in the year to come?
Year to come. I think you'll see a real intent focus on our core values and how those map to our customers. So I come from an IBM background where from Thomas Watson's first days, it was really all about the customer. We've put quite a bit of effort into making Ubuntu usable for developers, and we'll continue doing that. I think what you'll see is a real focus on Canonical's commercial partners and commercial customers.
Very cool. Dustin Kirkland, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Barton.